Only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Here, Armando, Amalia, Michelle, talking to you from our home office in Toronto, and looking forward to spending some time with you today in regards to news and events happening in the world of digital marketing. It will be a very short and brief webinar today. We do have a few things to cover with you, some important updates, and definitely look forward to spending the time with you. I know that next week we will be having a specific case study, but for today we have latest news and articles to discuss with you. So just before I begin, just want to make sure that you are able to hear us okay. If our audio is fine, just kindly just ping us on your chat box there, and we will begin. Excellent, thank you. Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Okay, looks like everything is okay. Amazing. Excellent. So I have Amalia with me as well. So Amalia and Michelle. So Amalia, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I look forward to our webinar as always.
Excellent.
Armando, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the first one is actually your slide. It's in regards to something that we
Oh,
discussed back in October, and it was in regards to AMP pages. So I know
that's
there
right.
has been a bit of an update in regards to the release. So okay, take it all. It's all yours.
Okay, great. So the article I did want to share was basically Google Search will integrate AMP pages basically on February of 2016, and it may get a ranking boost. So the fast loading pages using the AMP format will arrive early next year, may be designated as a fast in the search results. The Google-backed accelerated mobile pages project gained more steam as Google announced the AMP pages will be integrated into its search engine in February. As a way to basically increase the page's speeds, it will likely provide a ranking boost over time. Google shared the news in a blog post along with announcements of the developments. Also, in addition, it did hold a special press release in San Francisco regarding the news. Sorry there, I just lost myself there. And basically from the event, two very important tidbits came out of it. AMP pages may get a ranking boost and perhaps a fast label designation, similar to basically how Google shows labels for mobile friendly pages. Basically, both points are very speculative at this point. Google did discuss that the mobile page speed is an existing ranking factor. There's a debate about how much of a factor at this point. Since AMP improves load time and page speed, publishers that have the AMP pages will likely be prioritized in search results. Google didn't confirm this explicitly, but they did reiterate the importance of the page speed. AMP is likely to be most accessible way to improve page load times. Also, a representative asked about whether AMP-enabled pages would basically ultimately receive a label such as AMPD, uh, like mobile friendly. Basically, Google responded informally that it was more likely that they would label the pages fast, which is more intuitive for consumers. I guess that's their feel at this point. Google made it clear that AMP wasn't the only way to speed up the mobile pages. The company also said that any label wasn't certain and that it was still working on the user interface and the experience for integrating the AMP pages. Google's already running a test site where you can see how the AMP pages appear. How they will appear when integrated into a regular Google search may differ from that. Basically, a fast designation is just one of the examples. So anyways, I do want to share that. As Armando mentioned, we had that slight update in October, so the newest release is in February. Armando, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, very quickly, AMP
Oh,
pages are basically accelerated mobile pages. So this type of framework, if you will, is basically for mobile technologies, and the whole point is to obviously simultaneously load mobile pages. And in order to do that, it's something that will be released in 2016. So I'm just gonna, if any IC is really interested in learning more about this, I'm going to post the link here on our chat box here. But the whole key thing about the AMP project is based under an architectural framework built for speed. There is a little bit of programming, so it is something that you do have to, if you want to take advantage of this project. Again, it's not a mandatory thing today, right? But it's something that Google is pushing, and as Amalia mentioned, something that in the future may be important, specifically because it has to do with page speed. The accelerated mobile pages use a specific code to make the mobile websites faster, or the mobile version of the websites faster. So in essence, one of the questions that we had was, well, is Google really losing touch with what customers want? Well, not necessarily, because these pages, as a matter of fact, have been designed in a sense to download faster, right? And it has to do with two of Google's fundamental goals, which is, user experience and speed, right? Basically, the mobile project, I mean the AMP project, if you go there, it really talks about what they want to, and it's really getting rid of mobile websites that are slow, clunky, and frustrating. And with the AMP project, which is an open source initiative, it basically gives the opportunity to have faster downloadable mobile versions of the site. Please note that at this stage, even us, we're still in the process of investigating this project. So not all of our websites by default. This is something that's additional. It's additional programming, additional billable. So it's kind of like adding a. I don't want to say it's like having a plugin in a website to make it faster. So if you do have additional questions, the ampproject.org website can definitely assist you. And number two, feel free to reach out to any of us to get more feedback from our team in regards to anything that you need to know in regards to AMP programming. Again, it's not a mandatory. It's not mandatory by Google to add this, but it's something that they're definitely pushing forward. So again, it's something that Google is still in the process of rolling out, and as Amalia mentioned, something that will come out in the future. We'll see. Again, Google has tested different initiatives in the past, right? And this is again a project, so it's nothing that is, again, I want to emphasize two things. It's mandatory, it's not mandatory, it is not mandatory. And number two, if you want to have an AMP website or mobile website, it is additional programming that has to be added. There's some level of coding added to it. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Excellent. Thank you, Amalia. I know there's some questions coming in, so I will definitely try to field them as we kind of get them.
Pleasure.
But definitely I will do that. Okay. The other one that I wanted to share is also somewhat of I can say good news for have you ever had a website or a client where it's so hard to get a conversion code added to their website to track conversions, right? And it's really frustrating, specifically if you're running Google AdWords campaigns and you want to show ROI, and it's sometimes it can be very simple. It's a matter of just adding a conversion code to a thank you page that's redirected after you complete the goal or the conversion. So most of the time, it's really a thank you page after you complete an online sale, or a thank you page after you complete a contact us form, right? And it gets redirected. And sometimes it is very challenging, specifically given the way that some websites are built. It could be a problem with the content, a challenge with the content management system, or just the way the CMS has been built, or it just needs to be added. Anyhow, having said that, it is frustrating not to be able to track conversions, specifically if you want to show some ROI. So what I want to share is this interesting article that was shared in Search Engine Land in regards to Google launching smart goals for advertisers that don't have conversion traffic tracking. So this is in lieu of not being able to add conversion tracking. You can now add what they call smart goals, and smart goals are actually uh, uh, powered by Google Analytics. And like I said, designed to help businesses that don't currently have a way to measure conversions and optimize their campaigns. One thing that I do want to mention is that it does not replace a proper conversion tracking metric. This is more of in lieu of a secondary option. If you cannot add conversion tracking to a website to track conversions, this is something that you can use in lieu of as a secondary option. Now, the key distinction is that SMART goals don't measure actions taken on an advertiser website. So they don't really measure, let's say, conversion. What they do is they use what they call anonymized conversion data of other sites using Google Analytics to identify visits that are most likely to convert based on Google's model. So in essence, you're looking more at averages to a level, a degree of assumptions, but it is better than having zero tracking, right? So one of the things that Google mentioned in regards to this launch of SMART goals, they indicated that to generate SMART goals, we apply machine learning across thousands of websites that use Google Analytics and have opted in to share anonymized conversion data. From this information, we can distill dozens of key factors that correlate with likelihood to convert. Things like session duration, pages per session, location, device, and browser. We can then apply these key factors to any website. The easiest way to think about SMART goals is that they reflect your website visits that our model indicates are most likely to lead to conversions. So again, it's a bit of assumption. It's not true data like a conversion tracking code in a conversion tracking KPI would do. However, it does give you some level of visibility, and it could be used, like I said, in a secondary option. Now, to set up SMART goals, you'll need to link your analytics and AdWords accounts. Very important, right? So Google Analytics is really talking back to Google AdWords accounts. And basically, once you're in analytics, you can select smart goals under goals in the admin tab. Again, right now, I wanted to share an actual example of one of our accounts, but it's still being rolled out. So I looked through a few of our accounts, and I don't see this little tab. So if you look at my screen, and I did try to, sorry, I apologize if it's not as clear as I wanted it to be, but I did take this screenshot. And basically, if you look once you log into Google Analytics, on the left-hand side, you have a series of different options. Once you get down to the option of conversions and you click on goals, you have another drop down of activities. That's where you'll find smart goals, and you can actually set them up. Okay. So again, it is a feature that you can definitely add, but you have to have the link between analytics and AdWords. So they don't get activated automatically. You can see how well the Smart Goal model is working for your site before activating it by looking at the new Smart Goal pages under conversions. This is actually a very good option that they provide you, because if you look at it, and it's not making any sense whatsoever in regards to what you're seeing, and the numbers don't really match or aren't really realistic numbers, then you don't have to turn them on. You can definitely not use them. But definitely overall, you'll be able to analyze the behavior of SMART goals visits and compare it to those visits not deemed likely to convert. In the extreme example from Google below, the SMART goals visits didn't bounce, visited significantly more pages, and stayed on site longer than visits the model did not deem likely to convert. So in this little dashboard, or part of the Google Analytics dashboard, you can decide whether you want to add it or not. Right. So again, it's also something that's being rolled out. So something that before you really rely on as true conversions is for you to test it out at least 30 to 60 days to make sure that the data that you're receiving makes sense or aligns with what the client may be already getting, right, or tracking themselves through offline goals, right? So again, it's something secondary. And the other key thing about this, or the other benefit about this, is that if you do actually want to um, use smart goals, you can actually import them into AdWords, right? So once you actually have these smart goals imported, advertisers can set a target cost per acquisition, with a smart goal being the acquisition. In this way, you're able to optimize your AdWords spend based on the likelihood of conversion as determined by our model. Again, that's where a little bit is fly. It's the level of assumption, but it's something that you can use in lieu of. Google says smart goals will be rolling out over the next few weeks. Also note that to be eligible, the Google Analytics view has to receive at least 1,000 clicks from AdWords over a 30-day period to ensure the validity of your data. So again, another bit of a butt into this new launch, but it could be helpful. Okay, so check it out, and if you have any questions, definitely feel free to let us know. Uh, um, um, it's still something that will allow you to give you will allow to give you some data. Okay, perfect. So there we go here. Let's go here back to the next one slide. Just give me a quick second. The other one that I wanted to share with you is also very important. It's another release by Google Maps, and basically they have rolled out some upgrades. And again, it just shows the importance of making sure that your clients' Google pages are basically updated with the with the updated information, with the utmost updated information. Okay. Now they actually released this upgrades primarily for the iOS version, right? And what three things they did was gas prices, busy times, and offline navigation. So now, sometimes some mobile apps already offer gas prices. You have to actually log into the or open up the app, and basically you're able to start seeing gas prices and be able to compare, right? So there's apps that do that. However, you don't need an app anymore. Okay, with this update, it basically adds convenience and utility, enabling users to locate stations, gas stations, and simultaneously compare prices. So if you can look at my screenshot here, the first screenshot here on the right-hand side, if let's say I put in gas prices in San Francisco, right away I'm going to get a list of gas stations around me, right? And one of the key things that they've added, like I said, is now they've added the gas pricing. Okay, so it's a very good um, a tool to have, right? The other thing that they did was, which I found it very interesting, is what they call busy times at stores. So, for example, if you are looking at any major retail store or other stores, you can actually have what they call the store graphics graph, which is popular times, and it actually tells you what are the peak times, right? So, for example, in this example, on the right hand side, Macy's, their peak times are anywhere between 2:30 or yeah, around 2:30, all the way up till about actually, yeah, probably around 1, sorry, 1 o'clock till about 4 o'clock, right? You can see that there's peak times. So it's another tool that your clients can definitely use if they want to provide this information. All this information has to be definitely added and be able to be shared, right? So this is something again that they're rolling out. Not all of these stores will have it right now, but there is a way of you adding and sharing that data through the Google, through my Google. Okay. The other thing is that Google Map users on the iPhone will be able to download desired map areas for accessing offline. This includes all the relevant map content, contact information, radius, and business hours for the designated area. Most significantly, includes turn-by-turn navigation. So this is where you can actually, offline, you can actually use Google Maps as a GPS tool in essence, right? Offline, you don't have to be online. The interesting thing that they actually made for this update is that now they're actually also, putting an emphasis on iPhone, and the reason is because iPhone users will use most likely use the Apple Maps tool 3 times more than the Google Maps. So this is where Google is trying to gain some of that share of users who are, by default using the iPhone and use the maps feature on the iPhone, the default map features. They want to incentivize people to use Google Maps instead, so they're making it easier for them as well. So just wanted to share this information with you. Specifically, I know that in the past we've had some consultants come to us and ask us about, private chain of gas stations. Maybe it's a business owner who owns, 3 or 4 gas stations that are that are non-branded, they're privately owned, and they don't have any affiliation to a major brand, and they want to do some SEO, some optimization. This is a great way of providing that to them. Okay, again, it's something small, but it's something that's coming out, but it's very interesting. I think that also the store hours is something very, very interesting. That if you do have a client that's a retail, make sure that you visit my Google Places and see how you can definitely activate this. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to um, um, uh, um, feel free to connect with us. Again, a few definitely good questions. I'll definitely get to them, so please just be patient with me. Um, Excellent. And Amalia, I think you want to kind of share a little bit of information in international front, although we don't do a lot of business
Yeah.
in Asia or in the Pacific side. This is something that you want to share in regards to
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah. I just want to sort of share sort of upcoming news. Although, like you said, we don't really deal with items abroad. I just figured it's good to know. Basically, Japan courts order removal of criminal activity from the search as privacy violation. With the European style of the right to be forgotten, I know we talked about this, I know a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. This again has come up in Japan, suggesting that there may soon be a European style of right to be forgotten in Japan. Two Japanese courts recently ordered Yahoo Japan and Google to remove indexed reports of criminal activity under the theory that individual privacy rights were being violated. The cases were discussed in the Japan Times. Courts in Sapporo and Tokyo essentially arrived at the same result in the two distinct cases. The Japan Times article doesn't discuss the facts of these cases in detail, except to say that an arrest record in one case and alleged criminal activity in another were in the past, and the discovery in the search results basically violated the involved individuals' privacy rights. In the Sapporo case, Google was ordered to remove the search results pertaining to the individual's arrest in 2003. Google, according to the story, had previously declined to do so at the man's request. The nature of the arrest was not once again discussed in the article. However, the court asserted that because the event occurred more than 12 years in the past, there was no social significance, and this is why they didn't release basically the record of the arrest to the public domain in the search results. There was also no discussion in the report about the criteria being used to evaluate the request and determine when to remove such records. It appears that these are lower level courts, so any value as legal precedent is really a little unclear. However, the fact that in the two cases the court reached essentially the same result in the arguments, that there will be more such cases in the future in Japan, basically. So I thought that was interesting. Just wanted to share that because I know, once again, we talked about the right to be forgotten a couple of weeks ago. Armando, did you want to add to that, or?
Not, no, no, not necessarily. I mean, the only thing is in regards to this piece of news is something that the world governments are taking up really a stance against Google's domination in regards to search results information and what they're holding. So no, nothing that I wanted to add. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, Amalia. The other piece of information that I did want to share with you is in regards to Microsoft Edge. As we all know, Microsoft Edge is not really pushing out Internet Explorer, or in essence, I don't want to say it's the new Internet Explorer, but it is Microsoft's newest browser. And with the release of Windows 10, the general public can now use Microsoft Edge, which is their new flagship web browser. So there's a lot of questions out there in regards to this new browser, and even us, we're still coming to as a production team learning more about it. So with Edge, basically there's some pros and some cons, and it definitely will impact two areas of our business. One of them is from a web development side. Now, by default, you do want to make sure that uh, um, websites that are built can also be built for Microsoft Edge, right? The difference is not a major difference, but still, as more and more, you have more and more customers or users adopting this new browser, that may prove to be something very important. Now, what that means is that older websites that have been built under, let's say, a Windows browser compatibility may have some challenges with Microsoft Edge. So there's an opportunity there. Although, again, Microsoft Edge has made it, or Microsoft has made it, try to make it very seamless to be able to make it compatible to the new browser. Number two, from an SEO perspective, you know, as more and more users adopt the use of Microsoft Edge, how do we deal with SEO? How do we deal with SEOs? How do we properly SEO for this browser, right? Is that a possibility? Can that happen, right? One of the things that this article talks about is in regards to properly making sure that you follow some of the technical compatibilities that this browser provides, and and it will also help you help your client's website show up or display properly under Microsoft Edge. And number two, it will also make it SEO friendly. So the bottom line at this stage is that what Microsoft Edge is doing is really this. Is to improve the rendering engine inside of Internet Explorer. So it's very important to make sure that if you do find in your analytics data and results that you're getting an increasing amount of users, that you take a look at it. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight. Yes, a lot of people are adopting it because it's by default. Microsoft Edge is coming, is the default browser under Windows 10. However, it doesn't mean that today we have millions and millions of users, right? A lot of people are still using Internet Explorer. So it's just something that's coming down in probably 2016, where you have to really look at what's happening in that area with your client's website, and also with your client's analytics information. Now, one of the benefits from Microsoft Edge is that it definitely it supports new standards. Not only allows you to create great online experiences across all browsers, it also means that you won't need to do anything special to make your websites work properly in Edge. Edge is a more mobile-friendly browser. This means that Microsoft is spending ample resources to ensure that content is rendered the same across browsers. Because of that, as a result, they're also providing more frequent updates and support. So with these updates and support notifications, or just technical support, what they're doing now is making it easier for SEO and web professionals to devote less time to working around browser compatibility problems and more time on what's important, like creating compelling content. So one of the things that it's doing is that, as it updates itself, it's not going to be, for example, when you are moving from let's say an Internet Explorer 8, and you want to make it compatible to to the latest version of Internet Explorer, it's much easier, and that's the support that Microsoft is providing through this new browser. Okay, so just wanted to share this piece of information. It's not something that is a high priority right now, because there's still, the growth of users, and Microsoft Edge is still in its infancy, you can say, or it's still in its initial stages. However, do keep an eye out on your clients' analytics, and if you're seeing that they do have a high level usage of Microsoft Edge on their analytics, then you want to start seeing, okay, how is my website, compatible? How can I make my website more compatible? So that can definitely be resolved through their support team, and they basically provide that information to the programmers and also SEO experts. So we're also, from our perspective, be bringing more information in regards to this. But I just wanted to share with you that they are making it easier for SEO and web professionals to devote less time on working around the browser, rather than just focusing on compatibility issues, right? Because then you have to make it compatible to different sections. Excellent. And I think this you also wanted to share a little bit more in regards to Bing's new menu favorites, Amalia, in regards to new Bing local features.
Yes, so basically Bing's new menu favorites feature recommends dishes based on users' reviews. Basically, the local restaurant listings within the Bing app now include basically a menu favorites section with top-rated menu items. In an attempt to help users avoid restaurant order envy, Bing has rolled out a new menu favorites feature on its mobile app. The feature basically lists recommended restaurants, dishes based on millions of user reviews, restaurant menus, and basically other data. Menu favorites identifies the most popular dishes at each restaurant with high-quality results, says Bing. With a deep learning technique, Bing team has collected a large volume of users' favorite dishes. The local restaurant listings with the Bing app will now include a menu favorites section that shows up under the restaurant location and contact information. Basically, clicking on an individual menu item will display a description of the dish along with the user reviews. So I thought that was sweet to basically share with everybody. Armando?
Yeah, thank you, Amalia. And just one of the things that I did just for the purpose of this the webinar, you can now
Yeah.
clearly see some of the favorite listings here. So if you are looking, for example, at Wild Ginger Bellevue WA, and it's a restaurant, you can start seeing. If you crawl down and you look at the listing, this is on Bing, right? So remember, it's Bing. You focus more. You can actually click on more about Wild Ginger, and then you have your favorite menus, right? And then you also have obviously the reviews, right? So it definitely provides more information. If your client is a restaurant and they're not optimizing for Bing, we would definitely recommend that you look at doing that. As a matter of fact, one of the questions that we have today is in regards to, okay, should we just focus on Google? What about Bing and Yahoo? Whether you're doing paid advertising on Google or just focusing on SEO on Google, don't make sure that you're also looking at Bing and Yahoo for paid advertising opportunities as well as optimization opportunities. So even just having, for example, Bing the Bing Webmaster Tools console, and being able to have that already implemented into the website and having that integrated, you can definitely start seeing how your website is displaying and performing to a certain degree via Bing. The other thing is from a paid advertising perspective, yes, definitely you should test out Bing paid ads, paid advertising, run pilot projects because it is something that we've kind of been talking about in 2015 where Bing has put more attention towards their platform and being able to provide opportunities and generate traffic and conversion. So in your client's 2016 digital marketing plan or digital marketing mix, make sure that you also emphasize the use of Bing and Yahoo. So because it's definitely important. Okay. Okay. So again, we'll get to the questions, and I like this. A lot of questions today. Very good. Okay, excellent. The other, oops, the other piece of information that I wanted to share with you is in regards to universal analytics tracking codes. And uh, For the most part, many of the consultants already have this as a default, where they're already updating their Google Analytics to Universal Analytics. However, from time to time, you will know we will get a new prospect or a new client that's still using classic analytics. Now, Universal Analytics was actually rolled out in 2012, and even in 2015, we still, when we're doing any site reviews, we'll actually see that they still have the old code, right? So what they've actually um, indicated recently was that Google will definitely be retiring the classic Google Analytics version. So as a result, you want to make sure that your new Google Analytics is using the universal, sorry, your Google Analytics using the Universal Analytics version. So just give me a quick second. I'm kind of gonna share on two ways of how you can test this. So just give me a quick second, and what the difference is. Okay, so just okay. So here I'm just sharing the view of an actual Google Analytics client. So in this client, oops, this client is called Mayhew, and basically, let me see if I can get to their. And the way you can check if they have an updated uh, uh, Universal versus a Classic is very simple. It's by actually going to their log into their Google Analytics. You can log to their the admin section. In the admin section, you want to either find account settings, right? Under account settings, right? You oops, sorry. Oh, I missed it out. Sorry, I just did it before earlier. Property settings. Yeah, sorry. So you want to go under property settings, and under property settings, you want to have that tracking info. And under tracking info, you want to click on tracking code. And this is the code that the website should have, making sure that the code that it actually has a .js, right? And that's very, 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 very important. Okay. Now, some of with CMSs like WordPress, all you have to, and you're using, let's say, a third party, sorry, you're using a plugin like Yoast, is very simple. Just to add you can actually add the the UA code. But in some cases, in some CMSs, you actually have to write the whole script. Just make sure that you have the universal analytics one, and that one's defined by the JS, right? So it's very important that you have this tracking in there, because it definitely will provide you with more flexibility in regards to what type of information that you can actually collect. Okay, so again, it's a bit of a reminder as you are going through your client's new website, prospects, new websites, to make sure that they have the latest analytics installed. And if they don't, well, you know what? There's an opportunity for you to get your foot in the door. So there's a bit of an opportunity there as well. So let me just go back to, oops, just give me a quick second. Let me just go back to our, uh, our presentation here, and oops, so just give me a quick second. Very finicky go-to-meeting today. Okay, so one of the things that they've done, one of the benefits that they've done is actually you can calculate sessions and unique visits, but you can also have user ID, CRM data, and measurement protocols, search term exclusions, referral exclusions, enhance e-commerce. These are all tools and features that you can actually view through Google Analytics by having the universal analytics code. And sometimes if they're not there, it just limits how much information and how much data you can actually see on a specific website. So it's very important that that when you're looking at inheriting a new website from a client, that you have that. Now, the best way to do it is, like I said, just update it, go into Google Analytics, and make sure that you have that JavaScript snippet, and that will definitely be able to provide you an updated version. Now, so I kind of wanted to go very quickly over some of these benefits. For example, the user IDs. Why is this important? You may say, well, this allows you to associate multiple sessions, including any activity within those sessions, with the same user by a unique ID. So for example, if a user adds items into a shopping cart using their mobile phone device, but doesn't check out until later on their laptop, this activity can be attributed to that same user. So it kind of provides you with a little bit more enhanced data. The other one I think that's also key, specifically with a lot of that type of spammy referral traffic that that many sites have been getting. With having the right universal analytics tracking codes installed, you can actually have what they call referral exclusions. So this allows for specific domains to be excluded from analytics. So again, if you're getting all these overall traffic that's spammy, or you want to have an exclusion of traffic from its own domain name, you can actually have that. The other thing that I kind of liked about it is the enhanced e-commerce capability that it provides. So this is a plugin that can be loaded to give valuable insights into a user's behavior when shopping and helping assess the effectiveness of marketing activities. And I can tell you that the reason I'm bringing this up is because even till today, at year 2015, moving over to 2016, we still have sites that we look at that have the old code, the old code. Now, how can you tell what the old code is like? Well, basically with the old code, you'll notice that that it won't have the ga.js, which .gs stands for JavaScript. So you want to have that piece of code, that JavaScript, um, making sure that that's added to the website. Excellent. Okay, so let me just moving along here. So here's just another example that I wanted to show in regards to the GS, and I kind of went on the live one on that. But that's in regards to the adoption of universal analytics. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to go through some of these questions. I kind of answered a few of them already, but let me go quickly through this. And if I don't have the answer for you, definitely we'll get back in touch throughout the day today, either myself or Michelle or Amalia, in regards to these questions. Okay, one of the questions is it possible to update an existing website with AMP pages, or you have to develop the site from scratch? How about the cost? Very good question, Maria. Like I mentioned, this is still a project that's being developed by Google. You definitely need to do some HTML additions to the mobile version of the website. And if the website, for example, is not responsive, definitely the mobile version of the website will need to get additional code added. Now, if the website's already responsive, right, meaning it can work across any platform, again, just have your programmer review the code and also review that specific URL that I provided in the previously to make sure that they are following the HTML requirements. Is it additional cost at this stage? Yes, it is a cost. The way you have to look at it, it's very similar to adding a plugin to for example, a plugin to a WordPress website or an extension to a Joomla website that makes it run faster. So it is additional billable, right? It's nothing that comes by default, right? Because it's something that's mandated by Google as an additional feature, right? So it is something that's billable. What are the costs? Right now, Maria, we don't have an exact cost on this because every site's built differently. And even if it's a WordPress site, for example. And the reason I mention WordPress is because it's probably the mostly used platform that we find with consultants and their clients. The best way to do that is to have a production team review it and provide you with a customized quote, because every programmer programs their WordPress setup or sets it up or configures their setup a little bit differently. So it's better to have it looked at and seeing how it can be added. Okay, I would also that's the best way to recommend that, right? So it will probably have additional costs to add this feature, but yeah, you can definitely check out with the production team. If you want to check out with ALM, feel free to reach out to Michelle and Amalia. Thank you, Maria. Another question from Alistair. Should we be looking more at Bing and Yahoo rather than pandering to Google? After all a small percentage of a lot, still a lot. Yes, Alistair, like I mentioned earlier, definitely keep an eye on your Google Analytics performance of your client site. And if you see that Bing is very relevant, and specifically the demographics, which tend to be anywhere between, I believe, is 38, 39 years old and above. Specifically when you get to the 45 and 50s, 50-year-olds, that demographic uses Bing a lot. So if your products and services are targeting that demographic, have a look at it. We can definitely assist you at ALM. We can run a top level analysis to see what are the opportunities in Bing. From an SEO perspective as well as from a paid search perspective. So yes, have a look at that. It should be part of your marketing mix. Now, it shouldn't be the primary thing. Like if you're, for example, if you're going to be launching a new a paid advertising campaign on a new site or a new client, you want to kind of ideally start with Google, right? Because it is the search engine with the most users. But probably in phase two of your digital marketing strategy, you want to start incorporating Bing, you want to start incorporating Yahoo, you also want to perhaps even look at other paid advertising opportunities such as LinkedIn and Facebook. Okay, so primary, the way we look at it at ALM is number one, AdWords, then you move on to Yahoo and Bing. Secondary, or you look at social media paid advertising. My client is running a Reach Local campaign. How do we get the data from RL to link to GA? It is more just AdWords. As far as I know right now, this data is only primarily the integration is between analytics and basically Google AdWords. If you're running Reach Local, what I would recommend is touch base with your Reach Local contact, and I'm pretty sure they'll be able to assist you to try to see how that can be linked. As a matter of fact, Reach Local do have alternatives to tracking conversion, so you may not need to actually do this. But yeah, just find out from the Reach Local team. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to assist you. Now, Alistair brings us also a great a question and feedback. I have a client that tried Google AdWords Express, and after getting no leads, he complained and he got his money back. Well, that's pretty good. I never thought Google would give his money back anyways. Everything Google does is designed to get more AdWords revenue, and there may be more value out there. It's not that I don't like Google, but they're becoming too complex and arrogant for their own good. That's why they will not let you delete AdWords accounts. Why not, yeah, and look at data accumulation. Yeah, Alistair, this is why we're always recommending to ICs to look at other alternatives. Obviously, you need to look at Bing and Yahoo. And I will also tell you, don't social media paid advertising in LinkedIn and Facebook. They're getting smarter, they're getting better. So that those are alternatives. Definitely do some preliminary analysis, some research before you actually recommend it to your client. Don't just visit a client and recommend a paid advertising solution. Have a look at them, have a look at their demographics and who they want to target. Go through the IBA and then be able to provide a best solution. But it's something that you should look at as well. Okay. What does the menu favorites mean? By millions of reviews, local listings are not going to have that quantity. Yeah, actually, Daniel, you know what? Let me look into this question in regards to Bing's menu favorites feature. Definitely, we'll get back to you. Or have Amalia reach out to you or Michelle, but we'll let you know about that. Um, Now, in regards to the question from Elaine pertaining to Universal Analytics, um, ba-da-ba-bam. Yeah, Elaine, your question is that Reach Local had asked you to create the universal URL and then they add it to the landing page. So definitely, if you can touch base with us after the call, we can definitely show you how to create the universal analytics URL. We can definitely provide you with that help. Excellent. Lots of questions today. Thank you very much. I mean, this is kind of going to the end of our webinar. I believe still Amalia and Michelle are online. I know that we have a few promos, but thank you for joining us. Amalia, Michelle.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody for joining and look forward to next week.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. I just wanted to send out a reminder that if you have any website quotes out there, our December promotions are coming to a close next week by the 23rd. So if there's anything we can do to help, please feel free to reach out to myself or Amalia or Armando. And have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. And to those ICs that have some pending questions, bear with us. Give us a little bit of time, and we'll definitely get back to you personally. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Next week we'll have a case study, and we'll be able to kind of run that with you. Once again, have yourself a great week. Take care. Bye bye.